Hello everyone and welcome to Mr. Rollin's Storytime. Today's story is about a busker. That's a singer who maybe plays an instrument on the streets, and a very tricky or sneaky cat. Let's begin. The story is Tabby, McTat. Now I really like this story, and the author is famous, Julia Donaldson and Axel Schaefer, the illustrator, the person who does the pictures, because they also wrote and illustrated the Gruffalo. Let's start. Tabby McTat was a busker's cat, with a meow that was loud and strong. The two of them sang of this and that, and people threw coins in an old checked hat. And this was their favourite song. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Meow, and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. One morning, while Fred ate some bacon and bread, McTat took a stroll around the block. Then stopped, for there was on the doorstep sat a gorgeously glossy and green-eyed cat. She sat black with one snowy white sock. Sock and McTat had a cat-to-cat chat, and that's how their story began. For while they were chatting of this and of that, a thief had his eye on old checkered hat. He eyed it, he snatched it, he ran. The busker gave chase, but he tripped on a lace, and crash in a flash he was down. He broke his leg and banged his head, and he ended up in hospital bed on a faraway part of town. Goodbye, McTat said, I must get back to Fred. But where had his busker gone? The sun went down and the sky grew black. The stars came out, but he didn't come back. McTat lingered on and on. A week later, Sock took a stroll around the block and found his new friend looking thin. He's gone off and left me, said Tabby McTat. And Sock said, my people, Prunella and Pat, would gladly find room for a fine tabby cat. She was right, and they took in McTat. Next morning, old Fred left the hospital bed and found his way back to the square. But a brass band stood where the pair once sat, and the band played this and the band played that. And Fred looked all around for his loud, meowed cat, but Tabby McTat wasn't there. There's the band playing. Now, McTat had a wife and a very full life with plenty of things to do, like washing Prunella and pouncing on Pat and hiding the car keys under the mat and keeping the newspaper nice and flat and giving the pens an occasional bat and nibbling this and nibbling that. But he dreamed of his friend with the old checkered hat and always woke up with a mew. And often he said, what happened to Fred? And his paws took him back to the square. But a conjurer stood where the pair once sat, and he pulled out this, and he pulled out that. And people threw coins in the tall black hat, but the busker was never there. One morning, Sock said, look under the bed and see 3 kittens I've had. And Soames looked like this, and Susan like that. And the little kitten called Samuel Sprat looked exactly the same as his dad. The 3 kittens grew and they learned how to mew, and McTat sometimes sang them his song. And Samuel Sprat with the tabby grey fur had a deafening meow and a very loud purr, and he simply loved singing along. Me and you and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Me, you and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. When Susan and Soames took very good homes, their parents were happy and proud. There was one home like this and another like that. But nobody wanted poor Samuel Sprat. They all said, his voice is too loud. Now Tabby McTat was a home-loving cat, but he couldn't stop dreaming of Fred. And one day he called for his wife and his son, and he told them, there's something that has to be done. I must go and find him, he said. So up and down and all over town he wandered a whole week along. For many a morning and afternoon, by the light of the sun and the light of the moon, till he heard a familiar song. What song could he hear? Just me and you and the old guitar. If I had a cat, I'd be happier by far. Just me and you and the old guitar. With my cat, I'd be happier by far. It's Tabby McTat, it's my long-lost cat. Old Fred was ecstatically glad. That means he's really happy. Then the two of them sang of this and of that, and people threw coins in the new checked hat. But why did McTat feel sad? What's he thinking about? He was missing his wife and his comfortable life and the dozens of things to do, like washing Prunella and pouncing on Pat and hiding the keys under the mat and keeping the newspaper nice and flat and giving the pens an occasional bat. But how could he tell the busker that? Then out from the shadows sprang Samuel Spratt. "Oh, please let me be the busker's cat," he said with a deafening mew. Oh. Now Samuel Spratt is the busker's cat with a meow that's loud and strong. The two of them sing of this and of that, though Samuel sings just a little bit flat, and people throw coins in the old checked hat, and this is their favourite song. Me and you and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Me and you and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. The end. I really like that story. Could you write your own story about a journey? Maybe in your story it's a dog that goes on a journey, or a bird. What would it be? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye for now.